Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Lee of Sovereign Gaming, once again playing Line of Defense MMO. Today I wanted to take a look at just a comparison between the game's graphics in DirectX 9 and the game's graphics in DirectX 11, and kind of just how the two play differently. There's different bugs in one version than there are in the other. It was kind of brought to my attention the other day that the game does in fact actually have two different sets of maps for each version. Instead of just using one map and then having DirectX 9 render that map however it needs to render it, and then DirectX 11 rendering it in its own way, it instead has a DirectX 9 map and a DirectX 11 map. Two totally separate maps of their own making. This kind of leads to a few problems. One, that means that the developer of this game has to go to extra effort to basically correct the bugs that are existing in the game in both versions. Once in DirectX 9, and then once again in DirectX 11. Instead of just correcting the bug on the map specifically, and then checking to see if it works with both DirectX 9 and DirectX 11. Now, with that said, the DirectX 9 version was what I've been recently playing on, simply because DirectX 11, when I first got the game and started playing it, just didn't work. There were a lot more bugs in the DirectX 11 version. A lot of the features that were supposed to be there, like the 3D menus that are supposed to guide you around the ship in the beginning and whatnot, just didn't exist and didn't work, but they did in DirectX 9. That being said, DirectX 11's version of this game does look quite a bit better, so we're going to take a look at that. But first, we want to go ahead and log into the game and take a look at it with DirectX 9. So first, I'm going to go ahead and switch that over now. And then we'll go ahead and get it launched. And as usual, our obnoxiously loud loading screen, or intro, whatever you want to call that. And, alright, so let's go ahead and just log in. We are going to take a look at a couple of other things here while we're at it. There have been some additions to the game in terms of what look to be future regions of play. Okay, I guess we're error 1004, server unresponsive. Let's try it again. This will be fun. Okay, let's switch it over to the other server and see if that helps. Okay, great. Alright, so one thing while we're in DirectX 9, just kind of make note of like how the textures look and how everything kind of behaves, the environment and things like that. Where's the, there it is, okay. Whoops. Alright, so first things first, while we're here, let's take a look. Because now, down here, we actually have these different regions that we can go to. Going to each one, there's basically, at this point in time, just a station or ship in orbit, whatever. So we can just go to one of them now, take a look at it. And here we are. Alright, so one thing to note, this ship seems to have a lot more of these lying around. The more of this stuff that I pick up, though, the more burdened down the character becomes, and it becomes impossible to run around. But picking up this one here should give me a fair assortment of weapons to mess around with. If I go to the airlock, you'll note that there actually is not a jumpsuit sitting here, and we can't actually use the airlock anyway. Also, the ship is visible from the inside. So, moving around. Now, this gun is our typical slow firing. I don't know why anybody would want to fire that gun. Switching to 1, we have our pistol, which fires faster. I can't get back to that original... Oh, there it is. Did it actually give me any weapons? It did not. Did I pick up that case? Let's go check it again. Okay. Well, every time before, that case has always given me a fair assortment of weapons and whatnot to play around with, but I guess it's not going to this time. Really, there's not much else to see in this ship. There's supposed to be ships in here, but obviously not. Down there at the end is just another airlock in another room that does absolutely nothing, with more robots standing around that do absolutely nothing. So we're just going to head back here. Let's go to the... all of the other two locations are the same way. We don't want to go to Archangel. We want to go to Starguard. Archangel is just another ship floating around, or a station, or whatever. It's hard to say, hard to tell what they're supposed to be. So let's grab the suit. What the hell? Okay, whatever. And let's go down to the planet. Now, one thing that I did want to note while we're here is the structure that's been seen in a couple of my previous videos off in the distance. So we're going to go check that out as well while we're down here. Now keep in mind, we're now currently looking at the DirectX 9 version of the game. So again, make note of what the environment looks like, what the, the ground, the textures, the buildings, what little we do see in this world at this time, how it looks. Okay. Okay, seems to be having trouble just getting to the ground. All right, well, jeez. All right, I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, so obviously not working the way it should be. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this video short here for now. I'm going to come back to it when, 1, it's daytime in the game, and 2, I'm actually on the ground. So be right back. It's been a few hours now since I last recorded, and it was getting dark in the game, or it was dark in the game. I've been logging on and off for the past 3 hours, every 10 minutes or so, and it's been pitch black up until now. It's starting to finally get a little bit light out here, so one thing I noticed when I was running around in the pitch black dark with no light, because I can't seem to find where the freaking button is to turn on a light, if there even is one. You'd think in the future you'd have, I don't know, a flashlight or something. But these street lamps, while they emit light up there, they don't actually emit light. There is no glow from the street lamps that would light up the surrounding area so that you can see anything. Now, at one point, I do distinctly recall that the street lamps did, in fact, light up the area around you, but they don't seem to be doing that now, so that may be just something that's broken that needs to be corrected. Again, there's the ship off in the distance. We're still working on waiting for the light to come out so we can go check that out, so we'll come back to it. Alright, it looks like we finally got some light. It's been about 3 hours, actually. About, well, yeah, 3 hours. Maybe longer. I'm not really keeping close track of time, but it's been a while. Frustratingly enough. So, we're going to go ahead and proceed on. Let's go see if we can see this object off in the distance here. And again, I want to point out that we just keep an eye on what the textures are like in the game, what things look like. This is still DirectX 9. And then we'll switch it over to DirectX 11 once we're done with this first trip here. Wonderful animation there. I love how I'm holding my gun. That's amazing. Apparently I can dance. So one thing to notice here is you look at the tree and the leaves and the branches rotate along with whatever direction I'm looking at it from. That's, yeah, that'll make anybody sick. I remember a certain game a while back called Final Fantasy, what was it, 14? That was online. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, it got a lot of flack for the footstep sounds sounding so much the same, just constant same sounds over and over and over and over again. And I can't help but think about that right now. Alright, so here we are. Let's get to the top of this little ridge right here. Alright, yep, that's the Concordia right there. Crash landed into a lake. Oh, wait, that was Wing Commander, right. As other people have noted, that is definitely a crashed ship in a lake. That's very reminiscent of a very popular scene straight out of Wing Commander. But yeah, it's definitely a ship. There's some lens flaring. My probably number 2 most hated thing in a video game is lens flares. Anyway, alright, so you can kind of get a good idea of what the game is graphically from here in terms of using DirectX 9. You can kind of see a lot of clipping in and out in the distance. I don't think that improves too much with DirectX 11, but if I am recalling correctly, it's a little bit better. And take special note of the water. I do believe the water is quite a bit better with DirectX 11 as well. other than that, that's pretty much what we wanted to see here. So let me see. Oh, there was the one thing I'd found, that pressing H if you have the HAIS suit did put you into using it again. So let's try it. No? No? Well, I do have the suit. I did grab it. Oh, you know what? I grabbed it and then teleported down here. And one thing I had noticed is that when you use the teleporter rings that are found in the stations now, they're not really rings. They're more like teleporter triangles, whatever. They actually strip you of everything that you had picked up prior to using it. So I did have the HAIS device, but you can see in my other videos what that does. Eventually using it too much ends up clipping you through the ground and you fall to your doom through the world itself. Alright, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this video again, and I'm going to switch over to DirectX 11 and we're going to come back to this again. Okay, now we're in DirectX 11. One thing you'll notice is that, and I could, again, going from one to the other, there's not a huge amount of difference, but it does look a little bit different. At least my eyes are telling me that things look a little bit different. But I'm noticing some shine and whatnot to the gun that I didn't notice before and things like that. So let's just go in here, and first things first, let's go take another look at that other station and see if it looks any different. Yeah, and it does look a little bit better. I mean, it definitely looks a little bit crisper. Feels like the colors are a little bit brighter. I'm not sure if that's going to translate into the video all that well or not, but I kind of feel like everything's a little bit crisper and brighter. Alright, so other weapons and stuff. So let's see. Did it give me anything? No, it doesn't look like I actually got anything useful there. Alright, so we'll just go back to the Star Guard here. And let's go grab that HAIS backpack or suit and head back down to the planet. And this time, let's actually try and get a little bit closer. There's the obvious object we're talking about here. And I should be able to land. Let's do it, so let's try that. Loading, loading, loading. Come on. Here we go. Looks like we're going to go through this again. And it doesn't look like it's landing me where I wanted it to land me either. Pretty sure there was no structures nearby where I had clicked to land, so whatever. And I'm not sure if this is a server-side issue or another game bug. One thing I will note is that the #1 server is not accessible right now. It does appear to be down, even though it states that it's perfectly healthy and up and running. It's not. You can't access it. So I am running this on the #2 server right now. I can't confirm whether or not this occurs on the #1 server, obviously, because I can't log into it. Oh, for crying out loud. Just land already. ever so slowly creeping down to the ground here. Okay, that was interesting. Alright, so where are we? Not anywhere close to where I wanted to be. Not even remotely close to where I wanted to be. Okay, so I believe we need to head this way. Come on, go. Oh, looks like I'm on the... Am I on the edge of the map? There's a seam right here. This I've never noticed before. There's a seam in the ground. Then again, I am on DirectX 11 now, keep in mind, so... That's strange. I've never seen that before. Alright, we just saw the object in the background there, popping in and then disappearing. Yeah, you can kind of, if I rotate to the right or the left, you can see it. Yeah, oh my god. Alright, so this will take a minute or two to get over there, but we'll definitely get there. In the meantime, again, you can note that it does, obviously, DirectX 11 is causing a lot more pop-in than DirectX 9 was, but visually things feel brighter, they feel clearer than with DirectX 9. Let's try this. Oh, seriously? What? Okay, so that was me trying to use the HAIS suit again. And apparently in DirectX 11 it just doesn't function at all. And what the hell? I'm dancing. So apparently it just gets me stuck into an animation loop. What the... Oh my god. Whatever button I press to do, you know, walk left, walk right, it gets stuck. It just sits there in that animation loop. What the hell was that? Oh, that's a melee attack. Okay. Wow. Calm down, lady. You're supposed to enjoy it. Holy crap. Alright, so we're just going to... I'll get there. We'll come back to this again. Alright, we're back on the ground again. I just came out of the portal there. So I figured we'd just pick up where we picked up off of doing the DirectX 9 clip. And again, you can kind of see everything looks a little bit clearer, a little bit higher resolution, higher definition to everything. So I guess that's good. Let's get across here. Yay. Again, those footsteps sound... the way you hold that gun, oh my god. That's so terrible. You know what would be awesome right now? Is if another person logged into the game and shot me. That would be amazing. If I just died by somebody else's hand in this game, that would be cool. Even cooler would be as if I killed them, but yep. As I've stated in the past, that's top of my bucket list. Just killing somebody in line of defense. Anybody, really. NPC. Kill an NPC, that'd be awesome too. Let's try and get back up to where we were. Okay, I believe this is about where we were before. And again, things look, I don't know, relatively the same. You still have that pop in off in the distance where the view distance cuts out. And I kind of think the water looks a little bit better, but again, unless I'm putting these videos side by side, I don't know. And I'm really not sure how to do that specifically, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll figure it out in editing. Maybe not. But there you go. This is the wreck of the Concordia. Crash landed into a lake. And this is DirectX 11 with line of defense. Again, not too much of an improvement. I just kind of wanted to see whether or not the graphics looked any better from one to the other, and they look, you know, a little bit better, I think, but overall, still pretty much the same game with the same bugs and same issues. Ooh, let's try going into the water. Oh. Wee. Okay then. Let's see. At least there's waves. That's coolish. And from what I understand, the water in the game isn't actually something that was created by him specifically for this engine or by the developer for this engine. It was created by another company. It's a piece of middleware that's used to create the water and the water effects and whatnot. I'm not sure if I'm able to go down or... there's plant life underwater. Yeah, I don't seem to be able to swim down. Nope. But, oh no, I'm swimming in midair. Oh, there's water again. Obviously, the water sits on a plane that I am on or below, and the waves go above and below that plane quite constantly, apparently. But there you have it, folks. Just another video of line of defense. Still waiting on aircraft. Yeah. Someday. Supposedly that'll be in the game within 2 weeks, according to the developers. So we'll see if in 2 weeks the aircraft gets put into the game. Of course, 2 weeks was stated like 2 weeks ago, but whatever. And after that, they're supposed to be putting in ground vehicles, and you know, that might be another 2 weeks away after that, or 2 weeks away, whatever. When they put in ground vehicles, when they put in air vehicles, we'll come check it out and see what we can see and see how the game plays with those vehicles. Until then, this has been Lee, and thanks for watching.